Coming to the next, the distribution question. Clean tech companies effectively quoted government and investors, but they often forgot about customers. They learned the hard way that the world is not a laboratory. Selling and delivering a product is at least as important as the product itself. Just ask Israeli electric vehicle startup Better Place, which from 2007 to 2012 raised and spent more than 800 million to build swappable battery packs and charging stations for electric cars. The company sought to create a green alternative that would lessen our dependence on highly polluting transportation technologies, and it did just that. At least by 100 cars the number is sold, at least by 1000 cars the number is sold before filing of before filing of bankruptcy. Even selling that many was a achievement, because each of those cars were very hard for customers to buy. uh, for For starters, it was never clear what you were actually buying. Better Place bought sedans from Renault and refitted them with electric batteries and electric motors. So, were you buying an electric Renault, or were you buying a Better Place? In any case, if you decided to buy one, you had to jump through a series of hoops. First, you needed to seek approval from Better Place. To get that, you had to prove that you lived close enough to a Better Place battery swapping station and promise to follow predictable routes. If you passed that test, you had to sign up for a fueling subscription in order to recharge your car. Only then could you get started learning the new behavior of stopping to swap out battery packs on the road. Better Place thought its technology spoke for itself, so they didn't bother to market it clearly. Reflecting on the company's failure, one frustrated customer asked why wasn't there a billboard until everywhere showing a picture of a Toyota Pyro Prius for $160, 160,000 shekels, a picture of this car for 160,000 plus fuel for 4 years. He still bought one of the cars, but unlike most people, he was a hobbyist who would do anything to keep driving it. Unfortunately, he can't, as the Better Place board of directors started upon selling the company's assets for a meager 12 million in 2013. The technical challenges we overcome successfully, but the other obstacle we were not able to overcome. The durability question. Every entrepreneur should plan to be the last mover in a particular market. That starts with asking yourself, what will the world look like 10 and 20 years from now, and how will my business fit in? Few clean tech companies had a good answer. As a result, all their obituaries resemble each other. A few months before it filed for bankruptcy in 2011, Evergreen Solar explained its decision to close one of its US factories. Solar manufacturers in China have received considerable government and financial support, although our production costs are now below originally planned levels and lower than most Western manufacturers. They are still much higher than those of low cost company China, but it wasn't until 2012 in the blame China colors chores really exploded. Discussing its bankruptcy filing, U.S. Department of Energy backed around solar blamed aggressive pricing actions from Chinese solar panel companies. that made it very difficult for the for an early stage startup company so to scale it current market conditions when solar panel maker in the conversion devices failed in February 2012. It went beyond blaming China in a press release and filed a 950 million lawsuit against three prominent Chinese solar manufacturers. The same companies that Sully and trustees in bankruptcy sued later that year on the grounds of attempted monopolization, conspiracy, and predatory pricing. But was competition from Chinese manufacturer really impossible to predict? Clean tech entrepreneurs would have done well to rephrase the durability question and ask what will stop China from wiping out my business without an answer. The results shouldn't have come as a surprise. Beyond the failure to anticipate competition in manufacturing, the same green products clean tech embraced misguided assumptions about the energy market as a whole. An industry premise on the supposed twilight of fossil fuels was blindsided by the rise of the fracking in 20,000. Those 1.7% of the America's natural gas came from fracked shale. 5 years later, that figure had climbed to 4.1%. Nevertheless, nobody in clean tech took this trend seriously. Renewables were the only way forward. Fossil fuels could not possibly get cheaper or cleaner in the future, but they did. By 2013, shale gas accounted for 34% of America's natural gas, and gas prices had fallen more than 70% since 2008, devastating most renewable energy business models. Fracking may not be durable energy solution either, but it was enough to doom clean tech companies that didn't see it coming. The sacred question: every clean tech company justifies itself with a conventional truth about the need for a cleaner world. They deluded themselves into believing that an overwhelming social need for alternative energy solutions implied an overwhelming business opportunity for clean tech companies of all kinds. Consider look how conventional it had become by 2006 to be bullish or solar. That year, President George W. Bush uh, heralded a future of solar roofs that will enable the American family to be able to generate their own electricity. Investors and clean tech executive Bill Gross declared that the potentials for the solar is enormous. Subi Sharma, the CEO of the solar manufacturer Solaria, admitted that while there is a gold rush feeling to solar, there is also real gold here, or in our case, sunshine. But but rushing to embrace the convention sent scores of solar panel companies, QCell's Evergreen Solar, Spectra Watt, and even Gross own energy innovations, to name just a few, from promising beginning to bankruptcy court very quickly. Each of the casualties had their bright futures using broad conventions on which everybody agreed. Great companies have secret specific reasons for success, and that other people don't see. The myth of social entrepreneurship. Clean tech entrepreneurs aim for more than just success as most business define it. The clean tech bubble was the biggest phenomenon and the biggest flop in the history of social entrepreneurship. This philanthropic approach to business starts with the idea that corporations and non-profit have until now been polar opposites. Corporations have great power, but they are shackled to the profit motive. Non-profit pursue the public interest, that they were weak players in the wider economy. Social entrepreneurs aim to combine the best of both worlds and do well by doing good. Usually, they end up doing neither. The ambiguity between social and financial goal doesn't help, but the ambiguity in the old social is even more of a problem. If something is socially good, is it good for society or merely seen as good by society? Whatever is good enough to receive applause from all audience can only be conventional, like the general idea of green energy. Progress isn't held back by some difference between corporate greed and non-profit goodness. Instead, we are held back by the sameness of both. Just as corporations tend to copy each other, non-profits all tend to push the same priorities. Cleantech shows the result: hundreds of undifferentiated products, all in the name of own or our broad goal. Doing something different is what's truly good for society, and it's also what people's business to profit by monopolizing a new market. The best projects are likely to be overlooked, not trumpeted by a crowd. The best problems to work on are often the ones nobody else even tries to solve. Tesla 747 coming up next.